As the sun slowly crept into the sky, it filled the morning air with warmth and life. Sounds of birds in harmony, and you there right next to me. Oh, no matter where we go, oh, my heart is yours to hold.
We're in Quebec now. We left my parents' place around 4, and now it is about 10 to 9, unless the time change took place just now, but I'm not sure if it has. So we've been driving for 5 hours now, give or take. Kendra still won't drive.
I offered.
We stopped in Edmonton to get some fuel, and I got rejuvenated, so I'm good now.
Through days of warmth, I'm by your side, like the stars and the moon in the nighttime sky. I'm by your side.
So we're about 5 hours from our destination. We're not going straight home today. We should be home tomorrow. And we're actually expecting about 10 centimeters of snow in some places. So far, we've been really fortunate. We've driven about 5.5 hours.
I've driven 5.5 hours, approximately 6 almost.
I did offer and he refused, so just...
There is no proof of you offering.
It doesn't matter.
The proof is not in the pudding.
He hasn't slept much, so just ignore him.
Nah.
Anyways, look what I have to drive with. Stop it! Look what I have to put up with. Okay, so we ended up having a good visit. Right? We were like 10 days, something like that. It was good. We didn't do a whole lot. We went to Moncton a couple times, drove around. But mostly we just kind of stayed in and visited with his parents. And so, yeah, it was kind of relaxing. There's not a whole lot to do in the winter. So we're looking forward to possibly going the end of summer, early fall, to have another visit when we're able to get out again. But there'll be a lot more to do then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that'll be a different type of trip. But this was just a good visit. We got to see the house and the progress with the house, so that was good. And
You had some seed time.
yeah, I got on the internet. We ordered a bunch of seeds for his mom. She's going to be starting and planting her garden for this year, so I helped her out that way, just making sure she was getting the best seeds. And I think they actually arrived already in the other ones.
The one, yeah, from
Halifax Seeds.
Yeah.
Just because it's close by, it came early, and then West Coast Seeds is actually supposed to be delivered sometime this week, so I think she's happy with that. Yeah, so we're just gonna head back, and it'd be nice to sleep in our own bed and to check on the chickens, make sure they're doing okay. I did speak to our neighbor, and he said that everybody's doing well and they're still laying, and check on the cat. He's probably
He's gonna freak out.
yeah.
He's gonna be like, meow, meow, meow.
He gets lonely.
Yeah.
So we'll go check on the cat, and then the dog, well, our neighbor's been paying a lot of attention to him, so he'll be good and happy we're home too. So, and then it's back to the daily life on the homestead, and back to work. So it's good. It's a nice little break midwinter, and there's still, even though it's winter, it was still really pretty. The snow was really pretty when it comes down, but we didn't see a moose, like a real moose.
Yeah.
So that was shocking, but maybe it's the time of year. I don't know.
It could be.
And then we were supposed to meet up with Remy from Rem's Family Farms, and then we had to cancel with them. So we're hoping that maybe when we go down again and it's nicer weather, we have more time to
Yeah,
meet
it'd be
up
nice
with
to
them.
visit some of the YouTubers around
Yeah, because there's some really nice YouTubers down in New Brunswick
Bay
and even
Quebec.
in Quebec. So it'd be kind of neat to catch up with them. This time was just, was a bit rushed and
Well, it was also the main reason of going down was to visit my parents,
yeah, so we did
just hang
that.
out with them, and eventually make my way down to the ocean.
We did that too.
That too.
Then we had car problems. So things
Way
happen.
to go.
Anyways, so we're heading back home, and hopefully we'll get back to filming some of our regular kind of content that we usually do. I really want to focus a little bit more on, since it's the winter, doing some like remedy stuff, like because we do use a natural remedies often, and I haven't put up a lot of it yet, but I know you guys have really enjoyed those, so I'd like to kind of get some of those videos out for you guys. So that's kind of what my hope is, and with that, and then once spring comes again, of course, I love the baby chicks. So yeah, we're
Probably
looking
be
forward
starting
to
that soon, though.
We usually do it.
Sometime
We
in
usually do it
February,
in
maybe.
April, though.
Do we in April?
We
Yeah.
usually do it in April. So, anyways, there's a lot, and then obviously, seed starting is like really soon. And we met someone, like we went to church down in New Brunswick while we were there, and I met some really nice ladies, and they were talking to me about their grow towers, which is something I've been looking at for the last couple years, but I haven't invested in. And I'm like, oh, I really want to invest in that sometime. I want to learn more about the hydroponics.
I want
and stuff.
salads in the wintertime where I don't have to pay $8.99
I know.
for a 3-pack of romaine lettuce.
And it'd be good to really try to utilize a greenhouse outside too, because we haven't really tried to utilize that in the winter. But we did try and grow some lettuce in November, December, and it was soil. And it just didn't turn out, and my seeds weren't really.
I think some of it
the
though
seeds
is,
didn't germinate.
yeah, I think some of it though is because it's just too cold in our house.
So maybe,
I did get you that
the heat pad.
germination heat mat.
So, just some things that we're looking into, possibly kind of making things a little bit easier, and we definitely want to have greens throughout the winter. So perhaps that's something we can look into in the future. Do you have any recommendations? Love to hear what brands or which towers you guys have. Definitely am interested in that. Would love to grow lettuces, kales, chards, whatever like greens I can grow through the winter. So that's kind of, I think, maybe our goal for maybe next winter is to focus a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got some good knowledge down there, and yeah, overall I think it was good. Anyways, 5 hours to go. 4 hours and 53 minutes.
Feels like forever.
Walking in cold nights with your hand in mine, all wrapped up warm, sitting by the fire. This life is the best, living wild and free, with you there right next to me.
Well, we've been stuck in traffic a little bit just near Montreal, and the snow has gotten a lot heavier. It's pretty thick snow. We can see in front of us, but it's pretty white out, and the roads haven't been terrible so far.
Oh, there's a police.
But anyways, yes.
Never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that we were just in traffic, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Give or take.
Something like
We're
that.
still technically in traffic right now.
Yeah, it's, as you can see, it's pretty white out. we're just gonna take it slow, and hopefully we can get to our destination. I think we're gonna get off here because the bridge going over to Montreal looks like a lot of traffic. One of the reasons why we picked today was because we didn't think there'd be much traffic, but we weren't kind of planning on all the snow, so we'll see how it goes. Looks like there's a truck in the ditch over here.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, in weather like this, you cannot be in a rush.
Yeah.
Just gotta take your time, go slow, and good old Canadian weather.
Oh, what, Hannah? What?
This one. This
There's a
car's
truck
still
there.
okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how we got down there.
Well, we're probably trying to get off the road with the brakes and stuff, right? But this one here looks like it spun out over here and did
Like
a
on
little
the other
spin
side
here
of
on
the
it
road.
from the other side, I believe.
And landed there,
I-
right?
I can't see.
Yeah, you can see the tire
It's hard to
marks.
say, actually. Maybe not, though. It could have just came off from here to there, because I don't see tire marks going up, leading up to that vehicle there. So, for 1.4 kilometers.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get off that.
Oh, no matter where we go. Oh, my heart is yours to own.
Continue onto Trans-Canada Highway Central Ontario route.
Yay!
There, I need that
Almost in Ontario.
Like the stars and the moon in the nighttime sky.
For 107 kilometers, continue straight.
Well,
Appreciative.
we are very, very blessed.
Yes.
We were like this close to being like squashed by two plows.
I don't know about being squished, but either running into one or getting the blade into to the side, possibly. Because there was like one that was there, one that was kind of somewhat.
That was my heart, and my hands were like shaking. My heart's racing.
Uh-oh.
Whoa! What else can happen? Wow! What is? Oh,
Serenity now.
We just went under a bridge, and a plow was plowing on top, and we just got dumped on our windshield. Like,
All vehicle too.
Oh.
Fun times.
wow, this is quite the trip home.
should
I'm
do this
telling
again
you.
sometime.
No winter driving no more. Anyways, we are in Ontario finally. Oh, anyway, yeah. So he was like over in the passing lane, and he passed a few vehicles going like 80.
About 90 to 100. I mean, I'm going
Yeah.
the speed that I'm comfortable.
And it
in
was.
this
It's
type
not
of
fast.
weather, so it's not terrible. So there's two plow trucks and about 3 other vehicles that were behind them
We're getting
that
off
were
the-
on the on-ramp coming onto the highway. So we went over here because we were also passing 1 or 2 other vehicles that were going slower or whatever.
And it gives the other cars the chance to move over.
to move on over.
Because the on ramp.
Yeah. So with that, so the one plow truck went into this first lane, and the other plow truck decided to go into the second lane without really.
Signaling or.
Well, he had the signal light on, but we were thinking it was mainly for coming over with his other partner there. Well, he ended up going all the way over, and there was no way for me to actually be able to
Slow
stop
down.
safely.
No way.
So I ended up having to slow down, go right in between both of the plow trucks.
Like
Do a little
literally,
fishtail.
like we couldn't slow down. He like went like in between the back and the front of the plow trucks, and then we literally our back end did a fishtail. I don't know. All I could picture was us ending up in a snowbank in front of us, and the next thing I know, he's like going straight, and I'm like, How did we get out of that? Anyways, this is why we always pray when we get in the car and ask God to be with us, because these things happen. I'm telling you, I'm like, I don't know how he did it, but I know who did it. Because that was like, wow.
Yeah. So I will admit, some of it might have been my mistake. When I seen the plow trucks, I probably should have started slowing down quite a few, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet back. But at the same time, there was other vehicles that were beside me while I was over here as well.
And they needed to get over.
And they need to come over to be able to let other, well, even to let the plow trucks actually kind of
because
come in.
Because behind the plow trucks,
there's about 3 or 4 other vehicles.
We had to move it. We had to stay in that lane.
Yeah.
So, and then the cars beside us had to come over. So he did have to speed up or drastically slow down. I'm just like,
yeah.
It's been quite a drive.
Mm-hmm.
But we're probably like 35, 40 minutes to our destination.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So, we've just been going slow. There's some spots, we were like quite slow, and other spots
I felt comfortable going 100 to 110. Like, it's not terrible. If I'm passing, I was going relatively 90 to 100, because most of the vehicles that were passing earlier were going anywhere from between 70 and 80.
And we've had a few trucks, like tractor trailers and trucks
bypassing us, like
with trailers on them, like like skidoo trailers, whatever they are, like fly past us. So so we're doing a safe.
I'm going about 80 now, just because mentally I'm drained now. I don't want to worry about anyone. We haven't seen any cars since the plows.
The plows are back there with all the other
They're
cars.
probably about 50 kilometers away now, give or take.
But we have seen at least maybe 7 or 8 vehicles in the ditch. Some flipped over, some not. And as we go, we say prayer for them, making sure that they're safe and not hurt. So,
but if you're not from Canada, or if you're not from areas where it gets cold, or even like with this amount of snow, always have snow tires.
Snow tires are the best, and I don't cheap out on like cheap snow tires. Like I forget what these were.
You paid about $900, I think, but that was including them putting them on new rims.
These are really good snow tires, and I will not be without these. I am like, I want the top of the line, the best. I think I've got, what are they like?
Falcon or?
No, they're Shapiro.
Shapiro, okay.
Or
Shapiro.
I think they changed now. They're
something else.
Yeah, what are they? Anyways, they're the best tires I've ever had, and good on ice, good on snow, wet, doesn't matter. You still need to be careful. Like, the slush is like the worst thing to drive in. So there's not really any slush here. In some spots there are, but for the most part it's pretty bare. Like, it's not bad. It's to be expected. I'm like, this is what they're calling a snowstorm, 10 centimeters of snow, but
it's not terrible, really. I mean, I've driven through, actually, when we were on our way to New Brunswick,
New Brunswick was awful. Like, after we got
felt it was worse. Like, I mean, so Quebec was totally fine. It was nice and sunny, and then we so Quebec was nice and sunny when we first got into Quebec on our way there.
Yep.
And sorry, I had to let people on. Anyways, so on our way to New Brunswick, Quebec was great. It was nice and sunny. Then it got to the point when you got between almost the border of Quebec and New Brunswick, when it was starting to snow a lot, and there was a lot of snow on the ground, on the road, and the roads weren't plowed per se.
Man, no.
Like, even this side seemed to have been all right, but on the other side there, it was almost like it wasn't even touched.
You can have your tire marks or tracks in the snow on the road.
Yes, you'd end up going through a lot of slush and a lot of buildup of snow and stuff there.
I will say though, like in Quebec just now, like
They
coming
did awesome
home,
with.
there was so many plow trucks on the road.
Oh yeah.
Like I haven't seen, other than those two in Ontario, I haven't seen them yet. And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's common, maybe it's not, I don't know. But the roads were kept a little bit better than what these, like we're on what, like 417 or something.
To be fair though, the snow is coming from the west to
Yeah,
east or
it's true.
so. So they could have already been out and then having to be somewhere else to
True.
plow. And then they're coming right back on to try and clean it up as best they can
Yeah.
too. So we don't know their schedule and stuff. So
No. But, well, I think, so it says we got 25 minutes to go, so we're pretty happy. We're thanking the Lord for keeping us safe, especially during that time, and we just want to rest. So we're not going all the way home tonight. We've got a few more hours to go home, so we're just going to take a break because it's been quite
we're
stressful.
going to stay in the hotel
And we're going to relax.
and get into a hot tub.
And yeah, so we're just gonna head home tomorrow once the weather clears up. But we wanted to get to Ontario. We wanted to be in Ontario and be like, okay,
Yep.
woo, we made it this far. Quebec is quite large. I mean, Ontario is really large too, but the majority of the drive is Quebec. You know,
Yeah.
it's very long. So
I think it was from Miramichi to roughly Quebec City. Anyways, was pretty close to 7-8 hour drive there.
and it was good this time. Like the roads were pretty clear.
Oh yeah, the
was perfect.
weather-wise it was fine. There's no snow or anything like that. And then after Quebec City was when we started getting the snow. So
Yeah. Well, it's been good. Anyways, we will see how this ends, but so far so good. And remember, you're gonna drive in the winter, put snow tires on, pray before you leave. It's a must. Anyways, we will see you when we get to the hotel.
we're finally at the hotel.
They actually have a gym here.
Home for breakfast. A little bit of food.
Thanks, Honor.
So how was breakfast?
So we're just getting ready, packed up, getting out of the hotel, and we are heading back home. We've only got a couple hours to go, so let's see how it goes. Well, we've made it back home, and I see we've got some pretty good dumpings of snow. That's for sure. Now it's time to get unpacked and get a fire. There's a lot of snow. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Maybe. Oh, do you miss us, buddy? Did you miss us? No. Oh no. Oh no. He said, you haven't given me any love in so long.